When Jimmy Carter arrived on his last visit to Cuba, Fidel Castro himself was on the tarmac to greet the former U.S. president. He's the only American leader, in or out of office, to visit the island since Castro's 1959 revolution. On Monday, Carter will be back on a private mission to talk about ways to improve U.S.-Cuba relations with the new president, Raul Castro. In some ways, the time is ripe. Castro has introduced sweeping changes to the Soviet-style economy. And just this week, Cuba freed the last of 75 dissidents jailed in a 2003 crackdown on the opposition that prompted worldwide condemnation. Oscar Elias Bisset was sentenced to 25 years in prison for counter-revolutionary activities, but freed this month. I want to continue my work in the defense of human rights, he says. We want a democratic and free society. Raul Castro agreed to release the prisoners last year as part of a deal brokered by the Catholic Church in Spain, removing one of the major obstacles to improved relations with the United States. But you wouldn't know it from President Barack Obama's speech this week. He talked about changes in U.S. policy toward Cuba that he's made and the need for reciprocal action.
But Cuban authorities must take some meaningful actions to respect the basic rights of their own people. Not because the United States insists upon it, but because the people of Cuba deserve it.
Part of the reason for the impasse between the nations is Alan Gross, a USAID contractor who was arrested in Havana in 2009. This month, Gross was sentenced to 15 years in jail for his work on what Cuba saw as a subversive program hooking dissidents up to the internet. The U.S. said he was merely helping the Jewish community.
No doubt expectations will run high that Carter will try and secure an early release for Gross. But at least officially, it's not even on the 3-day agenda for the former president. Shasta Darlington, CNN, Havana.